If your child is in year 10 and wants to get top grades in GCSE Maths, then now's the time to act. Every year, I see capable students walk into year 11 feeling completely overwhelmed, not because they're not smart, but because they didn't have the foundations in place. In this video, I'm going to show you the top 3 GCSE Maths topic every year 10 students must master now to save them time, avoid stress, and build a rock-solid path to grade 8 and 9s. Hi there, my name is Sylvia Browne. I'm the lead tutor at the Impact Academy. I've helped hundreds of students jump 2 to 3 grades in Maths and Science. And today, I'm going to share with you the exact maths topics that students should focus on now to create the biggest wins and the biggest impact by year 11. So let's jump into those topics. The first topic is algebra. Why is algebra important? Well, simply because algebra is the language of GCSE Maths. It forms the core skills of so many topics, and it therefore appears in many of the GCSE papers. By year 11, if your child hasn't covered this already in year 10, by year 11, they'll be dealing with quadratics, functions, and algebraic fractions, all of which rely very strongly on the basics of algebra. Having a weak foundation in algebra equates to major struggles with graphs, functions, and word problems later on. So, what should students in year 10 be focusing on now? 1, solving linear equations and simple quadratics. 2, rearranging formulas, especially with fractions or square roots. And 3, making a variable the subject of the formula. So rearranging the equation so that the variable alone is on one side. So for instance, the equation v equals u plus at, do you know how to find a? So these are the kind of things that you need to know for algebra. Really make sure that you cover those basics because they are going to put you in good stead by the time you get to year 11. Algebra is like grammar in a language. If you don't know it, nothing else will make sense. Now, to make sure that these topics that you're focusing on, to make sure that you're revising for them as effectively as possible, what I've done is I've created a PDF guide called 3 Simple Steps to Achieve Top Grades in GCSE Maths and Science, and I've put that guide in the description down below. So go and check out that guide and you'll be able to learn how to revise for your GCSE Maths effectively. The second topic your child should be focusing on now before year 11 is, of course, fractions, decimals, and percentages. Why? Because they show up in every paper and they're often hidden inside other topics like ratios, like probability or money problems. And these are real life problems. So these are things that show up in real life examples. So if you can be strong with number fluency, with fractions, decimals, and percentages, then not only will they help you or help your child in these questions, but it's going to help them in real life, which is super important. So what do you need to focus on now? 1, converting quickly between fractions, decimals, and percentages. 2, calculating percentage change, reverse percentages, and compound interest. And 3, working with fractions in calculations, especially things like when it comes to multiplying and dividing fractions. The great news is that many of these that I've mentioned also cross over in science. You'll get them a lot in physics, in chemistry, and in biology. So the more you're exposed to this, it would give you more chances to get better at them. Now, there is a massive win when it comes to this topic, fractions, decimals, and percentages. The faster and more accurate you are with FDP, fractions, decimals, and percentages, the more time you are going to save on complex questions in year 11. So make sure you're good with them now. Also take the opportunity to learn these in your science subjects as well, as that will also help to put you in good stead by year 11. Topic 3, geometry and measures. Why? This is one of the topics that students get thrown off by the most in maths. Now, most Year 11 topics would assume you've already mastered the basics of geometry. However, the great news is that things like angles and triangles, polygons, and parallel lines are frequent exam staples. They show up very frequently in exams, and they are relatively easy to score well on. So as long as you remember the rules, if you know this, then it's going to help you to pick up those extra marks in exams. So for geometry and measures, what do you need to focus on now? You need to focus on, number one, memorizing and applying area formulas, triangles, rectangles, trapeziums, and circles. So those area formulas. You also need to focus on volume and surface area of cuboids, prisms, and cylinders. You should also focus on angles in triangles, polygons, and parallel lines. And finally, you need to be able to confidently convert between units. So for instance, from centimeter cube to meter cube as an example. This topic is so important because you need these when learning trigonometry, circle theorems, and 3D geometry in Year 11 if you haven't done so already in Year 10. And the students who don't master these basics now are going to struggle and to keep up later. Now, by mastering these basics and mastering the topic that trigonometry and geometry, which is the topic that students struggle with the most, it's going to help to give you confidence. If you're a parent watching this, it's going to help to give your child that confidence and make them exam ready by Year 11. And that's going to carry into their revision, into their marks, and into the final exam. So this is a great thing to do, especially now in the summer where you're not doing a major hectic revision. You're just going back and just making sure you've got those foundations in place. So now you know what GCSE Maths topics to brush up on before Year 11. The next thing that you need to know is how to create a study plan that will keep you on track and help you achieve the top grades. So click here to watch my next video, the GCSE revision plan to get 8s and 9s, and that would help keep you on track to achieve those top grades. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.